You're listening to Chem Stories, a podcast series created by people with lived experience of PNP chemsex.
Welcome to this special bonus episode. Think of it as an extended layover on your YYZ wisdom flight. While the main journey has touched down, we realized we had some extra baggage to unpack that simply wouldn't fit in the overhead bin. In this session, Toronto host Bradley resumes his conversation with Matthew and Reid. Our flight plan forecasts discussions on the often unspoken challenges of grief, offering a glimpse into how they have found meaning and connection in the face of loss, and exploring the healing power of poetry, spirituality, and community. Should you experience turbulence while listening to this podcast, please visit our list of resources and services related to PNP chemsex in the episode description and on chemstories.ca. Thank you for choosing Chem Stories Airlines, where the journey is always a trip.
One thing that you both have in common, which you may or may not want to talk about, is widowerhood, being a widower. And the reason that I mention that now is because we're talking about space, and where is there space for other in our community, right? And your stories just bring the idea of where is there space. And so I think, where is there space for you to talk about this grief? And where is there space to talk about being a widower? And is there space for you?
I'm doing grief counseling. That's what I'm doing.
How's that going?
It's charming. She's wonderful. There was a mouse in her office. It was distracting. That was how counseling went this week.
Yeah. Based on what I know from our conversations before today, is that you are doing what gay men have done since the earth cooled, which is getting shit service and taking what we can that serves us and helps us move forward, and leaving the shit behind, right? And we navigate that, getting shit service. And that is what I think you're doing, which is why earlier when I said you're remarkable, it's because I think you are. I think you both are. Because that's a hard thing to do, is to just go, you know what? I know the world is not necessarily for me, or there's, parts of the world that hate me. And so I'm going to do counseling. And when there's a mouth, I hope you screamed loud, like a 12-year-old with a high voice. And yeah, but you're still going, and you're actually leading those sessions.
In a big way.
Yeah.
I just needed a forum where I can go and cry for an hour on a weekly basis.
So you've created it. You have got counseling. It's not the counselor that's created the safe space. The only thing
the counselor has done is they have told me that it may or may not have been fruitful to have created some sort of intervention into Zachary's life before he had passed.
Shh, they did not.
They did too. May or may not. May or may not. Maybe Matthew. Maybe. But probably not.
How did you react to that? And who's Zachary?
Oh, Zachary is my boyfriend. He died in about 2 years ago. Like last weekend was the anniversary. He was 34 years old. He got hot Tina. His drug of choice was meth. He was slamming all by himself in his apartment. And I called the cops because he went missing after 2 weeks.
So he's been in his apartment 2 weeks?
Yeah. He died and the dog died. The cat survived.
Do we know how the dog died?
The cats got him. They got hungry.
Is grim. So then to hear feedback that you could have done something is, how did you take that?
I think she was more telling me that I couldn't have done something, and I was telling myself that I could have done something.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it was actually a fruitful moment.
Great. I totally misunderstood that.
Just of understanding that that at the end of it, that ship has sailed, and arguing the details of the past is ridiculous when it's a past that I shared, and then now it's a past that I remember.
Mine's a little different. I came here for someone. I met him when I was here on holidays. And I moved here from my home of birth to be with him. He was 33. I was 25. Yeah. We lived together for 9 years. We had a little breakup for 6 months. And during that 6 months, he played around. In the 9.5 years I was here, I didn't actually have any friends of my own. Any friends that we had were his friends who've just sort of accepted me for being the other part. His parents thought that I was this little immigrant person that needed help, and he was helping me. Even though we both owned the house, they didn't know any of that.
Oh.
Until the day he died, actually. He didn't even know he was gay. So he met someone, and unfortunately, I believe it was HIV positive because he died of pneumonia very quickly in hospital in like a 2-week period. Yeah, there was no one I could tell, no one I could talk to. There was no one around. And during that whole time period, of course, I was losing people that I knew, that I was helping to survive AIDS at that point. So a lot of people were dying in a lot of tight space. Then after that, of course, I had my parents and I had my 2 brothers. And I kind of I don't know what I did with it. I put it in the back of my head somewhere. And it wasn't until I came here to actually talk about being HIV positive that the person who I met to talk to said, we have to deal with this first. We have to deal with your 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, 11 deaths because you're not dealing with it. Coming from where I come from, many, many years ago, when someone dies, you put them in the front parlor, everybody sits around, person's in the coffin, you talk about them, either good or bad, tell them they never look so good, even though they're dead. And you're sitting right there. I had that from when I was 9. My first brother died when I was 9. So it's a situation that I've always worked with. And I worked in palliative care when I was at a geriatric center. So the first time dealing with it was here, basically. But it was really, I came to do HIV positive. And it just happened to come out at the same time. There is nowhere really. And I very rarely tell people that my partner died when I first came in. They say, oh, well, how long were you with him? And I just go 9.5 years.
Why didn't you tell people that he died?
Because they'll go through this whole system of why, assumptions. I mean, it's my own assumption he was HIV positive. He may not have been. He may have died of pneumonia. Well, we'll never know. And I don't really want to know. And unfortunately, his parents at his funeral did say, you should have told us that you were his partner. I said, it was not for me to tell. It was up to him to tell because they hated the new one that he had after me. So, yeah.
Great funeral chat.
Yeah, great funeral chat, especially in that day.
I had to go to the funeral. They held a wake while I was out of town. When Zach died, my parents came and got me and brought me home to Sudbury for a week because I was a mess. And during that week, the party that his dad threw was a wake, and he held it 2 days after Zach died. I was out of town, but also I wasn't invited. The only reason I got told that it was happening was because Zach's mother, who Zach's parents were divorced, his mother called me and asked me if I had gotten an invitation because none of her friends had been invited either. She wanted to see if I had gotten an invitation, and none of her friends got an invitation.
Yeah. She was, and maybe also doing some other work as well with those questions, which is good, I think good for her in a way, that she informed you of something in that way. So where do you grieve?
I did 10 months of grief counseling through the University of Toronto while I was still a student.
Right.
It got me through my last 3 semesters of school and got me to graduation.
And now
I'm in my master's program at a different school.
If we could just take a minute to say that, I mean, just to pick a random, being chained in a van on your way to prison, and now you're a master's student?
Yes. Who's using his privilege and the position he finds himself in to advocate for the same people who ask for cigarettes when you sit in front of the student center, because that seems most appropriate. That seems an adequate use of his time.
So you can cough when I say that you're remarkable, but it's
Right?
true. One thing that you both have in common is poetry and the impact of words and poetry on your life. What is that? Why is poetry meaningful for you?
I won an award just as I was starting my undergrad at U of T.
Is this an important award? Who else won it?
Okay. Thank you, Brad.
You're welcome.
I like talking about this. So it's called the E.J. Pratt Medal in Poetry.
Medal.
Medal. It's an actual medal. It's like a...
I didn't know it was an actual medal. Why don't you wear it? I would.
I'm not going to drill a hole in it so I can make it into
A necklace.
We'll frame it and then put that on a big sort of gold rope.
It's gold plated.
And who else won it?
Margaret Atwood won it in 1961, and Michael Ondaatje won it in 1966. So, like, it has some heft to it. It's a long-standing poetry contest at the University of Toronto. It's like 100 years old.
The poem that you submitted that got you that medal was, what was it called? What was it about?
It was called George Street. It documented my experience moving through the largest men's shelter in the country, which is where I ended up when I first got to Toronto. After 6 months on the street and living in bathhouses, I finally signed myself into the shelter. And the poem describes my experience there. Yeah. Finding love, which you don't expect to happen inside of a men's shelter. Getting sorted out on meds really simply.
What's the connection between getting sorted out on meds? Well, who's that person for you?
So the intake worker at Seton House, when I went in my first day to be like, hi, I need a place to stay, was like, okay, we'll put you on the infirmary floor. And the only reason they did that was because I had a diagnosis. And they were like,
whom?
From a doctor back in Sudbury who had intersected with my life in the emergency ward there. They were a person I remembered from high school, who remembered me from high school, who
saw a difference, saw progression, saw a difference in you.
I was so shocked in seeing them that I was kind of like shaken out of my whatever, and I was able to describe to them what was going on to me. That I was lost in daydreams for days on end, sometimes weeks. That I was taking all my meals at the soup kitchen because I couldn't manage getting groceries or doing any of that kind of stuff. And that I was lost in nightmares, daydreams. And they gave me my diagnosis. They followed me for a few months. They were a resident, so they passed me off to the attending. The attending saw me 3 times and then said he couldn't see me anymore because I showed up on the wrong day.
That's too bad.
I had missed an appointment without calling ahead.
It seems to be an odd expectation to be that hard about that expectation, considering who that expectation is being put on.
Right?
Is that? Did I navigate the high road well there?
Yeah.
The air is thin out on the high road. And so the poem that I came and heard you read at that was the same poem.
Yeah. I got a chance to speak at a conference while I was a student at U of T and read my poem in view of disability studies research.
Do you have it?
On me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
I don't. Nor can I recite it off the top of my head.
It's a beautiful poem. In the way of life is full and complex, beautiful.
Right? I lucked out that the professors who were evaluating the poetry the year I won were both very left-leaning kind of social justice advocacy kind of professors who were in the English department, but were doing work that was either critical or some stuff, right? Yeah. The award is only given out in the event that there's a poem submitted that is good enough to receive it. So they will hold back the award for the year if there's no poem is found, which I didn't realize they had done for most of the 90s.
That's a confident award program. Imagine if the Academy Awards did that. Sorry, bitches. They all sucked this year. Oh, that's great. And what's your connection to poetry?
It's more journaling, actually, for me. Writing down what causes what did I do that made me do that, and then try not to do it again. Try not to get that situation again.
And affirmations.
Yeah. Yeah. Affirmations. And you see my splendor.
Well, yeah, but you do that as a result of being made fun of.
Yes. I had affirmations all over the house.
I want names
and
of
people
who
coming
make
in
fun of you.
who were doing drugs were making fun of it and taking them down. So I found another way of doing it through Splendor packages, which actually have little affirmations on them. So I just use those. And occasional Buddha quotes, stuff that comes into my head.
Yeah, I consider all of that.
It's all poetry. It's all
poetry.
Yeah. It doesn't have to rhyme, just have to, I think, yeah.
To call it poetry, I think it's just a richer explanation of what words coming together can mean.
Mm-hmm. It's getting up every day telling the universe I'm alive and with it. I'm prepared to handle what happens today. I'm ready to take in all the goodness and energy that you're giving me. And that's an everyday one.
I used it to think through some of the beginning thoughts on Zach's death. And I wrote a book shortly following his passing, of 60 pages of poetry.
Are you still submitting it?
I am still submitting it. I've gotten 0 positive feedback on it, except stuff like, oh, it's very nice, but we don't publish poetry and stuff like that. So
very nice.
It's very nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
I read it.
Right?
Those are not the two words I would use. Not that it's not nice, but it's about processing the death of a lover, a same-sex lover, drug user, like slamming, like very nice.
There's 3 negatives.
Yeah, suck it with your very nice.
Right.
Yeah.
I've now gone international, and I submitted it to a press in LA and see if they'll pick it up, because nobody in Canada wants it. Nobody will touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Oh, you just got to get a longer pole then.
Right?
Is that it for poetry? Is that why it's important? Is it private?
Not for me.
Yes. But journaling's private.
Yeah. Is it? And I say this with no religion.
It's not necessarily words all the time. It can be pictures.
Oh.
Emojis. My own emojis, not ones that everybody else knows. Yeah. I used to just write because I hate writing. So at the beginning, I just would write. And now it's more either just words or combinations of pictures and words.
Do you have faith? Is that a thing? Faith?
Yeah. Spiritual.
Is that private?
My spirituality?
Yeah.
Not really, no. People always ask me about it because I have to explain it because I came back from a Church of Ireland religion, so I'm Protestant, high-end, boy choir boy right through, Sunday school teacher, nada. Go to church 3 times a week.
Church 3 times a week?
Church 3 times on a Sunday, yeah. And Sunday school in the afternoon. So I always say to people, if I ask 4 different people, how do you get to the Eaton Center from ACT? They will all give me a different answer. But where do we end up? At the Eaton Center. And all the spirituality and religions, Buddha, all have the same ending. It's just a different direction. So I took from each of them what I like and what fits good for me. Like I have a lot of rituals for stuff that get me through stuff you ask about widows and how to deal with death. Once a year, it used to be I would go down to the river, but we don't do it anymore, it's too cold. I have a silver tray where I put water in, and I light little candles for the people that have either gone and people who are important to me for the year. And we do that every New Year's Eve. And once a year, I will celebrate everybody who's passed away in my life.
Oh, like Day of the Dead, but not Day of the Dead.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's my own.
When did you do that?
Same day as New Year's Eve.
Oh,
Always.
is it?
Yeah. If not, you'd be doing it every day. I'm 69. A lot of people have passed away in my time.
Yeah.
Either through AIDS at the beginning or old age, people I've dealt with, or family. Being the youngest of 8 just happens.
Right.
So it's easier to put that all together and celebrate it as opposed to. I also have a knack of, if I feel sad about someone who's gone, I try to remember something good about that person that I was happy with that person with.
And why do you do that? Because I know you don't. I know you do it because you don't want to avoid sadness.
Is to celebrate the happiness of the good part of that person. Because when you're sad about them, it's usually a missing something.
And the sadness sometimes isn't about them. It's just about missing them.
Yeah. It's about you've been left here. Yeah.
Left here.
Yeah, always remember that when someone commits suicide. It's not when someone dies from suicide or dies, it's not them that suffers. It's the person that's left behind that suffers. Yeah. I use my spirituality a lot. Candle lighting. Someone dies to let their soul go. It's all part of all the different religions thrown together. It gets me through.
I was thinking about how does, like when you think back, are there intersections where faith and your involvement in chemsex, even though you probably didn't call it chemsex or think of it, but in that behavior, did they intersect? Did they cross over and influence each other?
Oh, I had no fear of death. I was doing things and I was certain that no harm would come to me. Dead certain, because God loved me. And
you thought that you believed that?
Oh yes.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
In the disorganized thinking, it was a major thing.
Get out.
Yeah. Even when things were really, really, really bad, I was like,
how strong is that belief then?
It's
It is
built
grounded.
in. It's built in. When I say I'm a Catholic, but I'm too gay to be a Catholic, but I'm still a Catholic.
Yeah.
Like it's that those things were decided when I was a child, right? Like that's the fundamentals of who you end up becoming.
And yours?
To be part of the community, to be part of that group. I was aging, 50s, HIV positive, had other things that were knocking me off having sex. So it was to stay in with that group and to be wanted, I guess, and to take the emotion out of it. Because I could not, even at the beginning, I had a hard time taking emotion out of physical. I still do. That's why it's quite easy to stop for me. And that's what sort of did the whole thing.
Is there anything that you miss?
Absolutely not.
Get out.
Other than doing laundry, cleaning the house, cleaning up after everybody, providing food, providing lotion to put yourself on, and providing the stuff. No.
You don't miss it?
No. And trying to deal with people. I'd be trying to be empathetic with people when they're in their psychosis stage. Because that has all come back to bite me now.
Explain that if you want to.
Text messages, 15, 16 text messages about how bad I am, that I'm not allowing this person to come to my house anymore, that I'm not playing with this person anymore, that I've ruined their whole world. She had nothing to do with me, that I was providing the stuff. And then my email address going on a large email listing of people who are still using, and the person being at my house 14 times last weekend and behaving erratically in the lobby area that he can't get into, and having to just watch it on the TV, but not deal with it, not feel I had to help, or had to bring him in to take so that everybody else wouldn't see who it was for. Thank goodness he wasn't using my name through the thing.
You showed me.
Yeah.
Because that's
yeah.
I mean, this is not what you want to tell someone who's adjacent to psychosis or in psychosis, but you do not want to say the word camera. But there is a camera in your lobby, so it is recorded.
Yeah.
We have now officially arrived at the gate for this bonus leg of our journey. I hope this layover gave you some space to reflect on the resilience and light found in Matthew and Reid's stories. While this flight plan is complete, there are plenty more destinations to explore. We invite you to check out the other flights available in our feed and subscribe to stay updated on future departures. More compelling stories await. Subscribe to stay updated. If you've encountered turbulence while listening to this podcast, please refer to our list of resources and services related to PNP Chemsex in the episode description and on chemstories.ca.